All right, good evening again, everyone. I'm Steve Hensley. We caught the tail end here on WYMT of that CBS News special report. There will be much more on what the president had to say and the vice president and the National Coronavirus Task Force coming up at 6:30. But it's definitely been one of the worst days so far in this pandemic, both here in Kentucky and across the United States. The last number I heard was now we're up to 3,700 total deaths across the United States. But as you've been listening to Governor Beshear here on WYMT, it's certainly a difficult day in Kentucky. The governor says 7 more people here in the Commonwealth have died from the coronavirus. The governor also announced 114 new cases. That's 114 new cases, so our total cases is now approaching 600. We also learned police and fire departments can hire back retired first responders without impacting their retirement. And child care is now expanded to people who work in grocery stores. And the governor says even tougher days could be ahead of us. But today is certainly the toughest day so far here in Kentucky. Let's look at the latest map showing COVID-19 cases. There are now confirmed cases in more than half of Kentucky's 120 counties. Those counties in the WYMT coverage area with positive COVID-19 cases include Pulaski. They have several cases, and a new one was announced today in Pulaski County. Also, cases are reported in Boyd, Breathitt, Martin, Laurel, Lawrence, McCreary, Rockcastle, and Wayne counties. Amid the battle to stop the spread of the coronavirus, many local recovery centers are still working to stop addiction. WYMT's Connor James talked with multiple care centers earlier today about that, and he joins us live with more. Connor?
Yeah, Steve, about 20 million Americans in 2017 fought a substance abuse problems, and those with addiction recovery care centers say that now is more important than ever for those people who are recovering to stay connected. Now, if you need to go to an AA or NA meeting, look for those services online. There's a handful of platforms that's offered on. They also say programs like Zoom can be used to hold meetings on. One of the many ways those people who are in recovery are staying connected is actually through telehealth. Addiction recovery care in Louisa has about 500 people using their services.
That we're treating an epidemic inside of a pandemic. 2018, 184 people a day died of drug overdoses in the United States. And that problem was here way before COVID-19, and people are still addicted today. And so we've been very on purpose about keeping our doors open to help those who need us the most right now.
Now, Steve, ARC, who you heard from right there, say they do have a number you can call. We're going to have that number on our website, WYMT.com. And ARC does still have their doors open for inpatient services for people who need to go there for help. Steve?
All right, Connor James, thank you. Yesterday, Governor Beshear ordered Kentuckians not to leave the state. He says traveling across state lines could bring more cases of coronavirus back to the Commonwealth. Several states report many more cases than Kentucky right now. Governor Beshear says that's certainly the case with traveling to Tennessee, but Williamsburg Mayor Roddy Harrison says it will be hard to enforce that order. Instead, he's asking people to follow the guidelines on their own. SECRI throughout the Cumberland Valley are working to make 275,000 face masks for emergency management. At a board meeting, administrators wanted the employees to make masks for themselves so they could feel comfortable coming to work. A few days later, State Emergency Management contacted them as well. Since last Thursday, we were told workers have been sewing to try and meet the statewide need. We hope to have more on this coming up tomorrow.
Folks need it now. They need it stockpiled, and this is a game changer. And see how we can manufacture for our country in a time of need.
SECRI plans to have those masks finished within 6 to 8 weeks. And again, we hope to have a first-hand look coming up tomorrow. Meanwhile, today, Harlan County High School officials donated 500 lab coats to Appalachian Regional Healthcare workers. The school made the donation to help the hospital battle COVID-19. Testing is a key component in fighting the coronavirus. WYMT's Madison program takes us to a drive-through clinic that is now testing for the virus in Hazard.
The ability to test people is key to fight COVID-19. Primary Care Centers is ramping up their testing capabilities with a drive-through system.
There is a screening person who will screen those patients to make sure that they meet the criteria.
Criteria including 3 types of patients.
Right now we're testing those people who are essential workers. That means people that are still working, delivery drivers, food workers, retail workers, healthcare workers,
as well as symptoms of cough, shortness of breath, and/or fever.
We are also testing anyone 60 or older who has a chronic health condition or anyone who cares for someone 60 and over with a chronic health condition.
Nurse practitioner Christy Harold explains what the test is like for the patients.
Each swab has marked as to how far it goes back, and it's probably about that far. Most people have tolerated it very well. It's a little uncomfortable, but it's not painful.
Not only looking out for their patients during the process, but medical staff
are using full PPE. They're using goggles, masks, gloves, gowns, and shoe protection. And they will be just in this area.
Reminding people to try to combat the virus before testing is needed.
We just need to remind everybody to continue the social distancing, wash your hands, cover your cough, try to stay 6 foot away.
People doing their part and all they can to fight the spread. In Perry County, Madison program, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, test results come back typically in 48 to 72 hours. Primary Care is testing for COVID-19 from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. and has the capability to test nearly 150 people per day. Kentucky's governor and lieutenant governor want Kentuckians to help their neighbors struggling during this pandemic. Tens of thousands of Kentuckians have lost their jobs in just a matter of weeks. The governor announced the Team Kentucky Fund last week. Already 4,600 donations have been received, totaling more than $390,000. Today we talked to Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman.
And to still have that many donations ranging from, $1 to much more than that. It gives me hope, and it reminds me why I'm so proud to be a Kentuckian.
To donate, you can go to donate.ky.gov. Coleman says they continue to add workers to help with unemployment claims and recently added a callback feature so people won't have to stay on the phone for as long. Small businesses are taking the full brunt of the COVID-19 pandemic across the country. Many doors are forced shut and workers laid off. In Perry County, city and county leaders are working on a fund to help those people. WYMT's Will Puckett has more on that.
Team Hazard Perry.
People in the mountains, we've always taken care of our own, and this is the thing that we're trying to do.
The fund is set up for people who work in Perry County and need help through this time.
But as we see that we're going to get through this, we're really starting to put efforts into how do we recover, how do we help the people, and how do we help small businesses get through that. And that's where this ideal for the funds came up.
A small fundraiser like these yard signs is working to help small business owners like Mina Campbell.
We were so crazy busy. It was Sweet 16 time. We were having all these orders. Hazard was going to state, and all of a sudden, bam, they shut everything down.
Campbell is the owner of Game On. This fund, should she fall on harder times, would help out businesses like hers and her employees.
I think we have the best people around here. Everybody's just come together in our churches, our community. It's just great. I've had so many people text me and say, is your business okay? The mayor texted me Saturday morning.
It's an often used saying, mountain people watch out for each other. Only this time, it's never been truer.
This is Team Hazard Perry, and anybody that works in our area, we want to try to help them.
As help comes for businesses hit hard by this pandemic.
Oh, it's going to be clutch. It's going to be great.
To still be here on the other side. In Hazard, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
And we have more information on our website about how to donate and how to get one of those signs. Just go to WYMT.com. Well, the Chris Stapleton concert many people were looking forward to next month is now on hold until next year. The Johnson County native made the announcement this morning. Not to worry, though. He says Willie Nelson, Sheryl Crow, and Yola all plan to be there on April 24th of 2021 at Kroger Field. Tickets already sold will be honored for next year's concert. Stapleton said it was a tough decision and urged everyone to do their part in stopping the spread of this virus. With hand sanitizer becoming a hot commodity during this pandemic, several businesses in the region are working to lend a hand. WYMT's Buddy Forbes spoke to two different businesses in Pikeville that are making the product more accessible.
The moonshine was all stocked, so Dueling Barrels set its sights on a different project.
We kind of just amped up and fired up our stills again.
Creating hand sanitizer to provide a community service for the people who are on the front lines of the pandemic.
We gave a lot to the city of Pikeville to hand out to all the first responders.
Pikeville Medical Center and other places in the county that remain open were also recipients of the free product.
When you go drop off something to a pharmacy who hasn't had any hand sanitizer in 2 weeks, they're very happy to see you.
One of those pharmacies, Pikeville Discount Drug, is also giving out free hand sanitizer.
We know that the demand right now for hand sanitizer and cleaning supplies is in a high demand with all of this going on, so we took it upon ourselves to get in contact with some local distilleries.
The pharmacy purchased liquid sanitizer from Tennessee Hills Distillery to give away to customers and local businesses.
We're handing them out probably one per car, even if they're not customers. We're still trying to help to stop the spread of the germs right now.
As part of a regional effort to keep people safe.
Because we know how serious this is getting. We know that there's not a case in Pike County right now, so we would really like to prevent that.
And sanitized. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Find out how you can take advantage of the free hand sanitizer on our website, WYMT.com.
And we'll continue to see those rain chances as we head into tonight. Gloomy weather continues for your Wednesday, but after that, sunshine returns. I'll have your forecast coming up.
And we'll explain how one school district is making sure kids stay mentally sound during this difficult time.
When you see news